Well, good morning, Corrie Thorne, the spiritual healer. Uh, Actually, getting ready to change some of the wording to my work as my feeling around being called the spiritual healer is really starting to change. And not that I'm not going to be the spiritual healer, I'm still going to be there, but um, consulting. So I have spent a few years in writing the More Than Existing book, consulting with myself. This is the podcast for the week of March the 10th and extending into next week, of course. But writing this More Than Existing book was I had to consult with myself. I had to emotionally and spiritually grow up. And that was the whole journey. I look like an adult. I act like an adult. I was even a healer. I was even doing all the training. I was doing, chakra work. I was a professional. I still am. Whoops, sorry. I'm still am all those things. But I also was a professional life coach. And and so in the process of becoming and blossoming and growing and writing more than existing, when I first started reading the first copy and how it was writing, I'm like, holy crap, this is kind of like the hate on the world kind of book, Corey. Like, really, does this really represent who you are? Is this really the person that you are? And I had to really get honest with myself and become real with the fact that I had to take ownership and responsibility. So, consulting, I started to consult with myself. I started to ask myself some serious questions, and I stopped the whole I need an answer now, like that thinking on the fly. I mean, I make a great leader based on the fact that I don't panic in the moment and I can think things through quickly. But to have to make impulsive decisions. So when I did not feel right about coaching on, now what are you going to do now? Like, get there now, do this now. And I'm like, did you ever look at where people came from when you start to do that to people? When you start to push people to be able to respond, to react quickly, when that is actually the worst thing for them. When people start to be able to have to do right now, did you ever look at where they were in the past? Did you look at, and that's the thing about being a healer, being a psychic medium, being someone who steps into the past and do past life healing with people, angelic life coach, is that I get to know people all the way back to before they even arrived up on this earth. And so I can tell you, not everybody fits into that category. Not everybody can be defining their lives based on a quick thinking, that critical in the moment. People need time to think. And that's the problem. We seriously need time right now to think. And this is the forecast reading, not the podcast. See, even got that wrong. This is the forecast reading for the week, not the podcast. I'm recording that too today. That's back there. And so that sits back there later on today. Um, right now, this is about the forecast for the week. This is the energy. This is where we are. So really, you don't have to be in that crazy ass energy. You can actually take a pause, take a break, because that kind of having to be on your feet right now, it makes you feel like you're losing your mind. And it does feel like in some areas the world feels like it's losing its mind. By becoming a spiritual and emotional consultant, what I've really truly learned was that I am very good at walking the middle ground. I can look at both sides, and I wasn't always that way. I'm not even gonna lie. I wasn't. I was very much, I had an opinion about everything. And opinions are like, you know what they say. So this is a channel message based on me truly learning to stop and pause in the middle road. This is about this is about the channels that channel through me, because the only place that I could speak a truth without allowing your ego to get involved was to move out of your own way, to get out of your own way. And that's what I had to do in this life, was I had to get out of my own way. So I channel through many, and I'm a mystic. I work through the hands of God in my messages, and whatever God means to you, and it's through that God conscious energy. And before it's like soon someone hears that, they're like, I'm out. I don't want to hear anything else. But that's our problem. That's one of our biggest problems. We hear the first statement and we don't like it, we run. Or we make a decision and we think we're stuck with it. We make a choice and or we can't make a choice because we're afraid we're going to make the wrong choice. We're afraid we're going to say the wrong word. We're afraid we're going to do the wrong thing. So fear is leading the way. Now, as I start to channel through that, one of the channels that I channel through is the guardians. So the guardians are coming through with a message, and I know they come because the language is very it's very hard for me to even get out the words like impulsive. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Impulsive. There's like, so just the guardians will channel through this message of impulsiveness, that we are in this week some serious energy that is about these impulsiveness. And we're allowing our impulsive energy, we're allowing ourselves to really go into that impulsive energy. And that includes allowing ourselves to be caught in our tantrum energy, in our old energy, in the old. How do we put this? How do we put this for the human? So for the human ability is what is happening is that you're acting like you're two, or you may be acting like you're childlike and you don't know why, and you don't understand, why am I so, why am I so sad? You're not really sad, you're just not getting all of your own way. All of your dreams are not coming true right now, and it's impossible. Your dreams can't come true. All of your dreams can't come true every day, and not everybody in the world can get everything that you want. It's, if you think about it, if you wanted the moon, could you bring the moon towards you? No. Would you spend a lifetime trying to figure out how to pull the moon down to you? No, because you look at it and you think, well, that's going to be ridiculous and that's not possible. So I'll do something that is possible. What can I do? I can start to find areas where I can bring something towards me. We logically know that, so we do that. And that's what you think. Whereas, can you get to the moon? Yeah, you can get to the moon. Is it possible? Yeah. Will you make it there? Who knows? Right? Who knows? Because that's what humans are doing right now. They're working on ways to even be able to take more people to the moon, not just the one man, not just the few men or few women who've walked on the moon, the people that could possibly go for a joyride to the moon. And could they possibly live there? Probably not. But what else could we do? Right? And so this is how we want the world to start thinking, is to not be so in the impulsiveness of, I want it now and I want everything now and I can't have it right now. And you can't have it right now, so give it up. And so, in other words, what you're being told this week is to give up the attitude, lose the attitude, because the attitude is what's really getting in your way. Is that the attitude that we have of that everybody has to meet my needs, my wants, and the world has to be about me, is that's the energy. And so we have some big shifts. We have some big shifts happening and we have a lot of love. And so this is in the most loving way. You're being given the most loving message that you can be given, in the way of saying, we love you enough to want you to stop and pause and to look at the fact that you have been already given somewhat of a dream life. You've been given the opportunity to be a human. You could have been an ant, you could have been a bug on the ground. You could live in a you could be in a worse state than what you're in comparison. Look at it in comparison. So why is that what you have is not enough, and why is it that you want to destroy another person's life to make you feel like you might have enough? And so those issues and those things that are coming up for you are really truly making you be able to question a lot of things. And so stop trying to grab onto something that's impossible. Stop trying to make something bigger than what it is, and start trying to look inward and ask yourself a serious question. What is happening with my attitude? Why am I behaving this way? Why is this where I am today? And why is this my place? Why is this the place that I am right now? Why is this my invocation? This is your invocation today. You're in this place because you have been impulsively letting your emotions run the show. And there is a sense of, you're looking at what other people want. You're looking into the stars of what other people have. You're looking into the eyes, or you're looking around at your environment and you're thinking, oh, well, everyone else has this. So you're not looking at the fact that if you're a millionaire and you're talking about how everybody has to make sacrifices and change their lives, I think a lot of people beneath you is already making major sacrifices, and they're already, don't have the luxuries that you have. So if you have the luxuries of your free speech, if you have the luxuries of your voice, you should consider yourself to be very blessed. If you have the luxuries to have a roof over your head, if you have the luxuries to have 6 cars in your driveway and somebody else has no luxury of having either vehicle, if somebody else can't get a job, can't go to work because they do not have a address, they don't have a home, they don't have a way to get there, they don't have a social insurance number, they don't have the things that's needed to get a job, and you're going to you have a job today and you're going to work, you should just say thank you today. It might not be a dream job, but you have a job. So you're blessed. And that's what we want you to start thinking. We want you to start thinking, stop thinking so impulsively, because the impulsive thinking is affecting your own mind and your own heart. It's like we are deteriorating the human threads of humanity that truly makes us be able to appreciate the things that. So when you look at your life and you look at those things that I'm impulsively complaining, I'm whining, I'm being pouty, or I'm bragging, I'm gloating, I'm envious. No matter what your words in, I'm so determined, I'm so focused on becoming the next best thing or becoming the next millionaire that I'm not thinking about anybody else, or I'm so focused on getting my wants, my desires, to be an activist to my needs being met or to what I want to see happen in the world, that I'm forgetting there's another world out there. I'm forgetting. So your world is not the only world. And your emotional self is being really triggered because this is the trickster energy that is floating around, that's even trying to manipulate the universal energy. So when it gets into the web and it gets spread, it becomes like a virus. And so you have more than a coronavirus. You have more than these other viruses. You have more. And those things are still existing in the energy. So now we have a compound. So you have compounded energy. You have a lot of compounded, which means that we are becoming more and more complex every day. And we have more and more kind of conditioning illnesses that is showing up within our minds, within our truth. So we don't know our truth because the impulsiveness to be feared and to be afraid is showing its way into our lives. And so instantly this video may be tagged for this because you're using words that are just words, and the energy that's behind them don't have the same energy as the trigger that it's going to have up on somebody else because they're triggered by that word, or they are now conditioned that I have to cancel out anybody who uses these words no matter what. And I don't have to go research, I don't have to go listen. I just know that I just got offended. So now I'm done. And so we have to pay attention to that impulsive decision to be a keyboard warrior. Pay attention to those areas where you are getting cut, because as an observer to this human existence, as an observer to this, and as an observer to being able to be the person who got to put down the words of more than existing, was that do you really truly know how important it is to start consulting with yourself to get into check with where this energy started, and that you're not, and that so that you're not a victim to your own creation, a victim to the story that you have created, that you are not a victim to the past that happened many years ago, that you can start to become a light in the dark, start to become the light in the middle, and get out of the way of the storm. Why are you standing in the way of the storm? If you can't get into the eye of the storm and you can't get safe in there, just get all the way of the storm. You can move far enough over. So get out of your own way, move forward, start shifting that energy, and start to find something to find a more positive spin. Start to see the light and stop, pause, think, process. Let those words fall into your heart, and let's see what we can make it, where you can make a change in humanity today. And that starts with dignity and remembering that we have to restore the integrity within our foundation if we want to build a big, beautiful empire that can encase many people and that can hold many people. If we want this world to sustain, we have to start looking at the one seeds that we keep planting, and that is the next human. And every one of those next humans that come in, if we keep planting the same kinds of seed, if you keep planting the same kinds of seeds into this world, it's going to look worse than what it is today, not better, because the fact that we're taking away the uniqueness is an issue. And we need to remember that. So today, not to be impulsive, stop and think about your words, your actions, your stops. Stop and think about hitting that keyboard and saying, is that going to serve my highest good today? Is me being angry today, is me being so upset today, is me screaming at a TV screen, is that going to bring change into the world today? No. But is it going to bring change into you? Yes. But it's not going to bring the healthy change. It's not going to bring the good change. If you want to see a good change, embody the light, embody the love. Love is the highest commodity we have. It's the highest of vibrating energy. And I don't mean selective love. If you have selective love, you just have human love. I mean unconditional love. Rise high enough so that you can allow yourself to go into the light of the God consciousness and to be able to absorb the light and to let that light of unconditional today. Find out where you have been so conditioned and where you've conditioned your own mind, and change your words, change your language, change your thoughts, and make it something where it's not criticizing, judging, any of those things that take us farther away from ourselves. It is time to come home. We've all been far enough away from home for long enough. This book, it is called Resting in the Way. I've made it. I'm walking the middle road. I have not I have not connected. I have not completed the human journey, but I've made it home to know that nothing outside of me can be healed without love. And that is self-love. That is self-respect. That is dignity. And that is honoring that each and every human also deserves the same dignity. Maybe not my respect, the same dignity. Much love to you and have a beautiful week. And spread love wherever you can go. Put it in you first. Much love. Have a beautiful week. And stop and pause. Much love.